I was rushing to get to a show. I slipped on what must have been a patch of black ice that was underneath the snow. Another editor found me on the ground unconscious. The doctors were asking me questions about certain vaccinations that I had had, and I was like, I don't know. But I had recently been on an international trip that required a vaccination with my ex-boyfriend, so I called him.
I got a call from her out of the blue with her sort of very incoherent sounding, and it was a little scary.
Story. Aya Kanai joins me from Brooklyn with her no longer ex-boyfriend, now husband, Todd Bailey. Let me just tell you, I could sit with you two all day and hear this story. So, Aya, let's start with you. Slip on the ice. Obviously, if anyone's, that is terrifying and potentially deadly. You were okay. You got to the hospital, but you were in bad shape.
Yes, I had what's called a mild concussion, and I needed to naturally rest and take care of myself and take about a week or so off of work.
Now, Todd, as you pointed out, you got a call from her. You're now exes. You'd been broken up almost a year. She calls you, as you said, out of nowhere. Did you think, oh, she's calling because she wants me back? What does she want?
I mean, she was kind of incoherent and gibbering the whole time. So it was a little clue that maybe it wasn't just a makeup call, but, you know, I was hopeful.
So did you immediately run to help? How did you get more deeply involved in it?
Yeah, the thing she called about was an immunization. So I think I looked that up, and then I got my jacket and went to the hospital.
Did you go back? Did you feel like her knight in shining armor? Or did you feel like, oh, my God, this is meant to be? I'm her in case of emergency. Like, did you have a feeling?
Like half knight in shining armor, half doormat. Not sure yet, but hopeful.
So, Aya, when he swoops in with the vaccination information, did like love angels, did Cupid say, oh, you might need to rethink this?
Well, that day in New York City, it was truly an insane snowstorm. Like, it was a historic snowstorm in New York. And so it was so wet and cold and gross that I really wasn't thinking about anything except for taking care and feeling better. But, you know, and again, this is going to sound like I made it up, but it was Valentine's Day, which when I wrote the essay for Worn Stories, the book, I realized I went back into my day planner and I was like, oh my God, it was Valentine's Day. Like, couldn't believe it. You know, Tamron, I know you've been at several fashion weeks and, you know, Valentine's Day is part of that season's fashion week. And so it just happens always that you're working on that day. And it happened that that was the day that I slipped on the ice and got a concussion.
And then called Todd. That's amazing. You know, Todd, the best advice I got before I got married to my husband, they said, look for someone who will bring you chicken soup when you're sick. Now, you didn't know you'd have to bring her vaccination record when she was in the hospital with a concussion, but there you were. When did you guys figure out, like, okay, this is more than me coming to help you at the hospital?
I think that what was really meaningful to me after the fact, I was staying with my parents for a couple days, mainly because the doctors had said that you shouldn't sleep alone because, you know, if something happens to you in the night when you have a concussion,
the doctor said you shouldn't sleep alone.
No. I mean, not like that. Not like that, Tamron. I mean, they wanted my parents around.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, what kind of doctor is that?
Yeah, in case you are experiencing symptoms of your concussion after the fact. So I stayed at my parents' house, and all the times that Todd continued to visit me after the fact were really, really meaningful. I knew already that he very much cared about me and cared about this relationship. Yeah. And so it was a great way to sort of reunite. I think that as you know,
so you still have the boots. Do you have them with you?
I absolutely do.
Todd, when you realized that she kept the boots as to mark obviously what was a frightening moment, but also one that led you guys back together, what does that mean to you?
Well, certainly, I'm not grateful for having a concussion, but I am grateful that we're here right now talking to you and to each other.
And Aya, you still wear the boots?
I do. The only change that I have made to these boots, as you can see, they're fairly beat up. The only change that I have made is that I got rubber soles put on the bottom, because naturally leather-soled shoes are sometimes not very stable in bad weather.
Well, listen, you have beat Carrie Bradshaw. You didn't have to wear Manolo Blahniks or Jimmy Choo to meet the man or rekindle with the man of your dreams. I love this story. Thank you both for coming on to share it with us today.
Thank you for having us, and happy 300.
Oh, thank you.